Here with another FIFA 22 video, and welcome to the RTG on this channel. So guys, if you missed the last video, I suggest you watch that video, but I'm just gonna bring you up to speed regardless. Guys, we've got the Team of the Year warm-up series in 16 hours. Guys, apologies for the late video today. I slept through the majority of the day. I am a little bit under the weather right now. Just picked it up last night, I guess, and this morning it kind of like solidified. So I am sick right now, but more importantly, my right wrist has healed up. My left heel has healed up. I haven't trained in, I want to say, like 10 days. I think it's 10 days. Probably 9 to 10 days. And it's not a good feeling. I feel very cringy right now. I don't feel like myself, right? And especially when you're sitting down grinding a game non-stop, it's not a good feeling. It's just something about that feeling. It just makes you feel disgusting, right? So, right now, we are gonna try out Cafu, right? I have not tried him out as of yet. He's high medium, he's 5'9". I have to take that into account, right? That he's gonna be a little smaller. So how he's gonna move in game, but his physicality is high, so hopefully that'll make up for it. His dribbling is amazing. Everything about this card is amazing. We're basically gonna give you an initial impressions / player review, early player review of Cafu, 90 rated Cafu in the game. He's got 99 interceptions, right? He's got 93 defensive awareness. He's got 99 stand tackle. He's maxed out everywhere, right? Long story short, where it's necessary for him to be maxed out. His heading accuracy is not that big of a deal. His aggression's a little low, but his strength will make up for it. His stamina is great. His jumping is decent. Guys, the passing stats, the dribbling stats, the pace stats, you don't really need too much shooting stats. But guys, look, leadership, early crosser, flair, team player, outside foot shot. Guys, what a beast card. So guys, the reason why this video is going to be a little late to you guys, I am sick. I'm a little under the weather right now. I'm battling through it, of course, right? But more importantly, my right wrist has healed up. My left heel has healed up. I have 3 injuries at the moment, but now I think it's just the one main one, which is my left forearm, right? I think I picked up most of these when I was boxing and just doing martial arts training. My left forearm, since 2015, guys, I've become the most injury-prone human being on the planet, right? Since that one major injury that, you know, my fully blown knee, right? Since then, and the other stressors that I had to take care of, right, in private, and still dealing with in private, right? So, I've become the most injury-prone human being alive. It's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling, right? So, hopefully, I want to say another week. I want to say another week, and hopefully the left forearm will be healed up, right? So it's not a fun experience right now. Playing FIFA or doing anything that's requiring my left hand, right? Playing guitar, the same thing, right? So the digits, I can't really flex them as much. So it's not a fun experience. But guys, I was hoping they picked up Delaine. No, I have not picked him up as of yet. Marquee Matchups didn't yield me anything. Rivals didn't yield me anything. It's just been nasty pack luck again, right? And no tradable pulls as of yet. So no huge tradable pulls. So the 2 cards that are so-so right now, Hugo Lloris, not that much for Hugo Lloris. He's decent, right, in the back. But I really wanted Delaine on the side, on the left-handed side. But for right now, this team looks absolutely beast, right? So that's where we stand with this team right now. It looks absolutely amazing. It looks gorgeous on paper. How do these guys play in game? That's the question at hand right now, right? And right now, you're getting a player review of Cafu in 3 matches. So we have to climb up to, we're going to play 3 matches. So we're going to climb up to D1 right now. We're going to try our best to. Hopefully with Cafu, this will be easy, right, at this stage in the game. So let's see right now. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the first of 3 matches. Alright, so we're getting into the first match of 3 matches for the Cafu review. And guys, this guy's team looks deceptively simple, right? It looks like a bare bones team, but I can attest to you guys, as my warm-up match, this match was absolutely difficult. I think all 3 matches were, as you're going to see, but this match kind of took me off guard. And it's usually the case. It's usually the case right at the start of, you know, like, right when you're warming up. you're getting a gauge as to how strong your opponent is, regardless of what their teams look like, right? And this match, right, first match with Cafu, and what you're going to notice right away is that my defenders were already on the back foot, right? We're already trying to defend all the time, right? Complete team effort. Everyone's just putting in the work, right? And it was just hitting this guy on the counterattack, and could I do it was the question, and no, Militao heads it away. So what I'm going to tell you right now, this guy was deceptively strong, right? This guy was deceptively good in game, right? Very, very good player, subpar team at this stage in the game, right? And it's unfortunate when you say things like that, but it's true, right? But guys, we're here for one reason and one reason only, and look at what we're doing, right? We're defending with Cafu, and basically I want to say the first 45 minutes was just, you know, establishing that point that my defense, right? You're not getting through my defenders one bit, and Cafu was at the center of almost every single defensive play, right? Which was absolutely the ideal situation. Upamecano put in work, Schultz put in work, every defensive player put in work, right? The Schultz card is the only underpowered card, right? At this stage in the game, I want to say, right? Every other card, you kind of expect them to play a certain way, and they actually do play a certain way, right? So Cafu, how does he feel dribbling? He feels amazing. His first touch is absolutely brilliant. Does he feel small in game? No. He feels absolutely huge in game, right? He feels really big. Does he feel like an attacking threat? Yes! Guys, look! I nearly pull off an assist with Cafu in the first match, right? His crossing is there, right? So the card definitely is an attack-minded right back. But you know, I have my instructions. My instructions for many years has been stay back while attacking, right? Of course, the work rates will determine if your card even should go forward, if the AI goes forward, right? If the AI would be out of position. But with Cafu, because his pace is so good, his defensive stats are so good, his interception abilities are so good, just everything about the card is just so good that you can feel comfortable that if you go forward, right, you'll be able to track back. But guys, we get to the second half, right, because this was a really defensive match, and that's what I mean when I say my opponent was deceptive. He had a deceptively underpowered team, right? He was deceptive because his in-game abilities was top notch, right? So he was putting in the work even though his team was underpowered. So I do score the first goal. I score the first goal, and I had to drop down Zidane, right? And once I dropped down Zidane to the center attacking mid position, and I put on the Bonza card as a super sub, guys. This Bonza card as a super sub, this Bonza card is insane, right? But this was the one time where you know, there was a couple times when, you know, Cafu was out of position, but because Kotza is right next to him, it was literally, you know, it was just being patient with my back line and making sure I didn't make any silly little errors, right? So I'm sick, but I am playing absolutely brilliantly in my first match with Cafu, and it was the Cafu show, right? Because he was everywhere. He was defending everything. He was everywhere he needed to be, and yeah, that was the long and short of the, you know, the first match with Cafu. And yikes, I don't care. That's brilliant. Holy hell, Cafu is amazing. Oblak saved my opponent, definitely. Kudos to my opponent, gave me a highly threatening match, believe it or not, with the team he's running. He was way more threatening. I had to actually drop Zidane back into the center attacking mid position, put on Bonza. Bonza as a super sub is one of the best SBCs I've done in the game, right? Long story short there, but let's just look at the cards. He gets man of the match, right? Bonza, yeah, because Bonza made the changes that were, the changes made once Bonza was on the field. It was night and day, right? You could feel the attacking threat was there, but defensively speaking, Zidane got 2 assists. Well, we're still on attack, right? 1 goal from Fekir, 2 assists from Zidane. In that position, he's Zidane, 91 Zidane. He's a little too slow for striker. I've tried him out, especially when your opponent's defense is super strong and super fast. Zidane can't really, he's not as threatening with the pace, and pace is a vital aspect of any FUT, right? Long story short, especially after the current patch, after the previous patch, that it was pretty much solidified, right? So Nkunku wasn't really threatening. Aouar's decent in that position, center attacking mid. So was really strong. Fofana strong. This Vieira card's really iffy in game. Schultz did the bare bones minimum, but let's look at Cafu now in particular, because I felt like he was extremely strong. So it's gonna count as interceptions, right? So 4 interceptions. I was beaten by the opponent 4 times, but 2 standing tackles, 1. Right? Standing tackle success rate was at 67%. It felt like I did much more with the card. The card nearly yielded me an assist in the first match, right? Playing with him, but he feels so smooth in game. I cannot begin to tell you how smooth that card feels in game. It feels like a goated right back. It's long story short, he feels like a goated right back, right? 90 rated Cafu. It's not the highest rated version of the Cafu card, but it really feels amazing in game, right? So let's look at the goals really quickly. Beautiful cutback. Bonza again finds that little bit of opening in his back line, my opponent's back line, but my opponent was actually way stronger than the cards that he had on paper, right? So it was just one of those things, right? And again, guys, I'm very, very happy with how the first match turned out with Cafu, right? So let's see if we can replicate that in the second match. Excellent start to a Thursday. I am sick, by the way, so I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. I'm gonna try to drink some like cranberry juice or like orange juice or something, and then we'll jump into the second match. After finishing the first match with Cafu, guys, 1 game played, and guys, in game, Cafu feels like an absolute monster. I believe he's going for like 565, anywhere from 565 to like 600 and probably like a little over 600k at the current moment in time. Anywhere from 565 to 700k. That's what I've been seeing on the market. So if you guys are going to pick him up, if you feel like, if you guys need an idea of how he plays after the first match, I'm gonna tell you right now, this guy feels like a demon. Can we replicate that same type of feeling in the second match? Let's find out right now. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get into match number 2. Alright guys, so we're getting into the second match right now, and guys, look at my opponent's team, right? There's no weaknesses in my opponent's side. That's a very, very pruned side. That's a very well-crafted side. It's probably an RTG account, right? And my opponent was putting in some insane disruptive FIFA gameplay, right? So what I mean when I say that was that he was able to disrupt my rhythm. I could not establish a rhythm right from the start, and that wasn't good, right? That wasn't, it's not the ideal scenario when you want to get into your second Rivals match, right, of the day. Especially when you're sick, you're like, no, I gotta put in extra work. I gotta work extremely hard because my opponent is extremely strong, right? So he was definitely putting on a lot of forward pressure, and defensively he was really, really tough to break down. So kudos to my opponent. Just clear-cut kudos to him, right? But Zidane weaves into that little bit of space, and he puts away, because he does have a 5-star weak foot. It doesn't matter which side you shoot with, but I think I shot it on a strong foot. But guys, Zidane, there are games where Zidane shows up as a striker, but obviously you want to use him as a cam, right? I've tried him out as a striker, and against the better defensive backlines, he kind of gets shut out, and it's usually due to the pace, right? So I scored, and then my opponent pinpointing my weakness, right? The weakness is the Schultz card. No jokes, right? At this stage in the game, the Schultz card is very, very underpowered. It's severely underpowered, right? It's a good card. It's a solid card, but it's not a card you want to be matched up with. You wanna be playing when you're matching up with Garincha, right? And that's who he had on that side, 92 Garincha. And I score that lob through ball, and it hits, it touches Fakir just right, and I make it 2-1. And guys, Cafu saves me, right, in the second match. Cafu does the business in the back line. That was probably the most important goal line save, right? And it came from Cafu. And I believe in the third match, you're probably going to see the same thing. I don't know if I clipped it a little wrong, right? Or I missed it on the clipping. But guys, he did that in 2 out of the 3 matches. I'm just giving you some foreshadowing, right? Because this is in post-processing right now that you're seeing this. But it's 3-1. It's 3-1 in this match at this current moment in time. Schultz is still, you know, holding off Garincha, right? But we're at the 87th minute, and I was just getting annoyed because my opponent's forward pressure was just insane, right? Kudos to my opponent again. My opponent was insanely strong, right? Cafu was, you know, he was running amok, right? He was basically doing all of the most important saves, and my opponent was pinpointing my weak areas, right? So my weak areas in the back line came from my left-handed side.
And he might be in here, and in it goes. And that is that. The referee blows his whistle for full time.
All right, so second match, I think I just let my foot off the gas right at the ending because I pretty much solidified the match, but my opponent comes back right like over the stoppage time to score with Garincha. Garincha, he's got a 92 Garincha, so it's obvious Garincha's gonna score, but obviously I stopped playing because I knew that I was gonna win the match, right? So Zidane gets man of the match. 2 goals, 1 assist. So dropping him back down into his preferred position and then removing Nkunku actually seems like the better option in game. Go figure, right? What just happened there? So gets an 8.2 rating as well. But again, we're going to be looking at Cafu. Gets a 6.5, which is odd because I feel like he did a lot of work again, right? 2 standing tackles, right? Interceptions, 2 interceptions, 50% tackle rate. Okay, so I still gotta learn the card, but he always felt dangerous on the right-handed side, right? Every single time I came up against, every single time my opponent came up against Cafu, Cafu felt like he was going to do the business, right? So my opponent in this match was aware of that. They were cognizant of that, and they went more over to Garincha's side every single time, right? And of course, Schultz is going to get beaten every once in a while, right? But Cafu did the work, right, in his preferred position. So second match, I'm telling you right now, I'm thinking about giving this card a solid 9.0. To 9.5, right? He does almost everything correctly. Maybe even a 9.6 at this stage in the game, right? For this stage in the game. So we've got the third and final match. So I'm gonna take another break really quickly, and then we're gonna get that done. Okay, so guys, 2 matches, 2 wins with Cafu as my right back. Guys, he literally shuts down that right-handed side of the left-handed side of my opponent's attack is what I mean to say, but on my right-handed side, he does the business, guys. 2 matches played, right? And we're about to make the climb to D1, and it feels like an easy climb right now. Let's see if we can get into the third match and solidify this, right? So essentially, I've been trying out, since I got back into the FIFA 22 grind, I've been trying out players in different positions, but right now, this team kind of does the business so far, right? It's not the best team, it's not the worst team, but Cafu kind of sends my defense into all-star territory, right? We're just hoping to put back on Delaine on the left-handed side, but for right now, Schultz is kind of doing the business, sorta, but it could be better, right? And up top, we need much more attacking firepower. It's, you know, I can feel how underpowered my attacking lineup is, but we're gonna work on that, right? If we had an updated Nkunku version of the card, that would be better. But I kind of need another fast striker. I really want to pull Mbappe at some point in this game, right? Jeez. All right, let's go. Third match of the video for the player review for Cafu. Alright, so we're getting into the third and final match of the three. And guys, we've won 2 in a row. And guys, every single opponent that we've come up against for our promotion match, right, on our way to D1, back again up to D1, has been insanely tough, right? In the first match, I made it look easy, but it wasn't easy. But in the second match, lots of forward pressure, right, and I took my foot off the gas. And in this match, this was definitely the toughest match of the three. And yeah, the one thing I had to do in this match, again, just defensive discipline, right? And Upamecano saved me a couple well times. Kotza saved me a couple well times. That pairing is pretty much amazing, right? I don't like Upamecano's work rates, but aside from that, everything else on the card is absolutely spick and span amazing, right? So, what am I going to say here? Guys, my opponent was a beast, right? He was doing some damage with Lucas, with Gabby Jesus. He had everybody out of position, right? And everybody just trying to close him down. And guys, look at the match. Look at the match, and you're just gonna see he's weaving in and out, and Kotza makes that amazing slide tackle, right? It's a amazing sliding / standing tackle. The animation's kind of weird, right? But it was absolutely insane to see, right? But tried to hit him on the counterattack, and it didn't work, right? So that kind of just it's like the 22nd minute in the match, and it's like it's giving me an idea, right, of how my opponent's playing. But it was my turn finally, right? Finally getting out of my half, right? Even with my decent, my decent back line, right, above average back line, especially with Cafu, right, I was like, okay, you know what, it's my turn, right? So once I started putting on the pressure, it was 1-0. But right after that, guys, he found some space, and he was in my last match, my opponent was targeting my left back, right, which was essentially my weak side, right? My weakest link in my current squad. And now in this match, my opponent kind of felt it wiser to go through the center, right? So that was the biggest difference. He was avoiding Cafu, right? In the past 2 matches, right, they were trying their best to avoid Cafu, right? And in the last match, they were avoiding my Schultz, and in this match, right, they were avoiding my Cafu, targeting my Schultz, and in this match, they were going through the center. So he was finding space in between Upamecano and Kotza. Go figure. And that's got to be down to Upamecano's work rates just being slightly out of position, right? For the most part, that's what was going on. But guys, Bonza as a super sub, I can't stress how good that card is, right? Bonza as a super sub is just absolutely genius. And I think I clipped it out of the video, but we're getting to the point where Cafu actually does another goal line clearance, right? And it's just one of those things where I was like rushing to clip the video, and I probably clipped it out. But guys, it's 2-1, and it's really, in this match, my opponent, had I not had a strong defensive back line, strong enough defensive back line, I would have lost this match. I'm being 100% honest with you. My opponent's forward pressure was insane. It was the toughest of all 3 opponents that I faced, right? Second opponent felt like the toughest at the time, but this was definitely the toughest opponent I faced all day. Of the 3, I've only played 3 matches, and this is the 3rd match. And guys, Howard does not put away that goal. Jesus Christ, that attempt at goal. So guys, it's 2-1. It's the 85th minute, and I'm just gathering my senses at this point, right? Cafu's doing the business in the back, right? It's established. My back line is established. The only thing I really need to do is just put on back Thomas Delaine, right? I want him back in my side, right? But guys, Fofana comes on in the second half. And of course, I want that headliners version of the card so badly, because guys, look at that. Look at that. Fofana again doing the end of the match damage that, you know, you've come to expect. But my back line was solid, right? Towards the end of the match, my back line was the same. It was just insanely disciplined. His Cafu shooting, his passing, his dribbling, everything about the card, amazing.
Danger here as he runs at them. Opportunity. No way through. And there goes the final
whistle. In a nutshell, promotion guaranteed.
And there you have it, guys. There you have it. 3 matches played with Cafu, 3 wins. And what did it come down to? Defense, defense, defense. My opponent in the 3rd and final match of this video for the promotion to D1. Guys, my opponent was an insane forward pressing opponent. He did not stop the pressure from the start of the match to the ending of the match. He kept that pressure on. But I think the demoralization happened right after this Bonza goal. Bonza is just, as a super sub, as a starter, he's okay. As a super sub, Bonza kind of just is one of those players in FIFA 22 that his stat distribution, the player model, everything about the card just works in this FIFA. Bonza is ridiculous in this FIFA. But guys, Cafu, I kind of want to give him a freaking 4.5 to 5, or, you know, a 9.7. It honestly feels like I shouldn't give him anything under a 9.7. The only thing is I'm in a lower division doing this, but essentially all the elite guys who make it to D1 get dropped back down to D2, and I didn't really have that much time. Not that I didn't have a lot of time, it's that I prioritized taking a step back from FIFA. So then when I came back, I started messing around with different squads. I think I have a formidable squad, and my back line feels very strong in game. Very, very strong in game. And it only gets stronger when you're putting on the likes of Zule as a super sub, when you're putting on Bonza as a super sub. Tierney could possibly be a super sub. Fofana is an amazing card. This version of the card, the higher rated version of cards, obviously going to be gotted out, right? So is amazing, right? Every card on here plays exactly how they should play in that position, right? But dropping Zidane back down to his preferred position, that version of the cards, preferably for a cam or a center mid or a CDM, right? Can't really play as a striker too well, but I have no complaints, right? So you guys saw a promotion match, and was Cafu necessary? I want to say yes, right? 10 out of 10, 9.5 to 10 for this card. Guys, for the price he's running at, for the value for coins that you're going to get, he's absolutely godlike. He's amazing. If you guys have the coins, I would consider getting this version of the card. And let me just check, at this current moment in time when I'm making this video, guys, if you can hear it in my voice, I still got this cold, right? I'm still sick, and it's annoying, right? I don't know if it's coming through on the screen. Let me just check. The 90 rated version of the Cafu. Obviously, the other option is going to be Darmian, but you would have to run a specific squad to use him, right? But this version of the card, a little under, okay, so he's going to be like anywhere from like 525, I want to say like anywhere from 500 up to 700, right? Top end and low end, probably like 5, it'll fluctuate, weekend leagues in a couple of hours. But guys, how does the card play? For the price point of that card, the distribution in terms of where the stats are, guys, that card is just a necessity in your side, right? It's one of the right backs in the game that's just completely got it out, right? His stat distribution is absolutely wild. It's amazing, right? It's where it needs to be, right? So yeah, guys, that'll be the player review, right? And that's not even an initial impressions. It's just a flat out player review, right? Because in 3 games played, it clinched me a promotion to D1. Obviously, I have to put in the legwork to get from D1 to Rivals again, but I'm kind of prioritizing pruning the side, right? And it's been fun. It's been fun trying out different players. How does this team play? It plays amazing, right? It plays amazing. Can it be better? Of course it can be better, but it's an RTG account, right? We're just waiting for the correct players that'll slot into the team, right? So guys, that'll be the video for now. Peace, love, all the blessings to you and yours. Do hit that subscribe button, that like button. Subscriptions really help. That notification bell to always see new content. Guys, that was an amazing 3 matches. That's the only 3 matches I'm playing for today, but that was an amazing 3 matches. Definitely felt great logging into FIFA today, even though I'm sick as hell. So I'm gonna make some soup now, and yeah, get to bed early.